Here on Conservative Guns & Armor, we're here to provide budget gun reviews for like-minded conservatives. Today we're going over the Glock 36 and the 43X, see which one is better for carry. Let's get right into it. Special shout out to my boy Joseph for letting us borrow his 43X. Thank you again, man. The Glock 43X is a part of their Slimline series. It's chambered in 9mm. We're gonna be using Blazer's 115 grain FMJs. The Glock 36 is chambered in 45 ACP, technically a Slimline, but we'll get into that a little bit later. We're gonna be using Monarch's 45 ACP 230 grain FMJs.
So we just loaded up the 43X here. I'm gonna go ahead and take some shots. I'm almost positive I missed the first 2 or 3 shots, but everything after that, Cinco de Mayo.
All right, so we got Monarch's 230 grain FMJs. See how they run. Oh my gosh. Yeah, 45 ACP in such a small body like this is takes you for a ride. So why are we comparing the 43X against the 36? Well, size-wise, they're very similar. The 43X is designated for concealed carry, and it does a really good job at it. Chambered in 9mm, holds 10 rounds, plus 1 in the chamber, so you can get away with 11 in total. Glock 36 holds 6 rounds in the magazine, with 1 in the chamber of 45 ACP. You have 2 bodies here that are very similar in size. Obviously a little bit bigger in the 36 to accommodate that 45 ACP cartridge, but these are designated for concealed carry and they do a really good job at it. And we're gonna explain a little bit more later on. We're gonna go ahead, load her back up, really break down why you should choose one over the other. I like this a lot. I like it a lot.
Hands up. Can't reach the magazine release. Happy maple syrup. Love this one. It's optics ready. The 43X variants that are optics ready barely stay in the stores. At least the stores were around. So the magazine release is very nice. I'm not overextending my thumb by any means. Can easily come out, unlike the 36 as you'll see. The slide release is also very nice. Even when it's locked back, you can still just barely press it down and it easily releases, unlike SIGs and others. According to my calculations, that is about 10 capacity, so very nice. 9mm. Now, as you'll see with the 36, it's not quite the same, but we're talking about big heavy hitters here. But 9mm, relatively cheap to shoot, and you get a nice capacity. We'll show you the holster setup here and see how much imprints. Don't worry about this shirt, just had it dropped off at the dry cleaning. You know, it's not been sitting in a closet for long time anyway. See, this is how it sits. Kind of turn it at an angle there. It does imprint a little bit. I mean, especially if you have the eyes for concealed carry, you'll know. But to the average person, you know, you might see just a little bit more there. We will compare that later to the 36.
I've personally ran the Glock 36 for a couple months now, and I've gotten really good with concealing it, actually training with it. I feel pretty darn comfortable. And I know if you watch our first video of the Glock 36, it's night and day difference. I will admit, I do actually like this Glock. I know that's I'm not a Glock fanboy. I'm just saying this particular one is not bad. It's one of the only Glocks, if not the only Glock, that is a slimline 45. And when I put in quotations, it's not officially designated as that, but you can essentially call it that. It's a single stack 45 ACP Glock. Again, along the same size as the 43X. Mag release kind of sucks. It's not the greatest in the world, and you kind of have to break your grip in order to get to it, but that is just a little bit of a thing I don't really like. Handle-it grips, some of the best grips you can get on the market. Very easy to install, and they feel absolutely amazing. This is the Edge series, so it's got a good texture to it, but also it's not going to be harmful when you're concealed carrying, which is killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So that's awesome there. But like we said before, the capacity is limited to 6 just because it is chambered in a bigger caliber, 45 ACP. A lot of people like to call this the 1911 of Glocks or the modern 1911 just because it's got the same capacity or is on par with a 1911 and is chambered in the same caliber. The unfortunate thing about the 36 is that she cannot run an optic, which is a little bit of a downside for some people, but for me, I've gotten used to irons. I've trained on irons and it's not a big issue for me. If you do want to run a red dot on your 36, I'm pretty sure there is an adapter plate that replaces the rear sight and you can put an optic back here. That is an option for you if you want to run a red dot. Now we're going to put it on the person, put it on my person, and see the concealability. All right, so I actually do my own laundry, so no wrinkles, no dinkles. Anyways, as you can see, we have the firearm on in the holster. If you're a gun enthusiast or you conceal carry a lot, you kind of know the signs of if someone is carrying or not. It's not that bad, honestly. I will say that the grip is a little bit shorter than the 43X, so it's gonna be a little bit easier when it comes to concealed carry with this guy. But other than that, they're both really, really solid choices when it comes to concealed carry. Throw a jacket over this, you're gonna be great. Maybe not in the summertime because it's gonna get hot, just like it is today. I'm sweating my balls off. So, all right, so Mr. Darrow has been talking some crap, just like usual. So we're going to unload into him, not like that, and see how he likes it. So let's get to it. You know what the funniest thing is? All those went right into his main mud. You know, there's kind of a big muscle that pumps blood in your system right there. So I think Skyler should finish him off. Again, not like that. Anyways, let's just go back to.
All right, we got Peaky Blinders. You were just offended and you have no razor left in your hat. So what you do is, he's not dead yet. Now, as you can tell, the test subject here is a little bit burned. That's how they know when you were CSI murdered, is because you'll have a little burn on the forehead when they just point blank. So anyway, razor blades are dull. Life is too short. Daryl, you just gotta go, man.
Did you choose the 43X or the 36? Well, if you choose the 43X, you're getting a true Gen 5. You have the option of having MOS, so you can run an optic on top. You got the forward serrations like a Gen 5, and you have the accessory rail to run a light or whatever it might be, a laser. You have that option. Also chambered in 9mm, the recoil is not as harsh as the 45 ACP. You hold 10 instead of 6. Overall, it's such a nice slim build. It's a solid choice. Why should you choose the 36? Well, unlike the 43X, this is not a Gen 5. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure they only made them in Gen 3, Gen 4. There's some models that have the accessory rail. This particular one does not. You cannot get an optic put on here unless you do what I said before, the adapter plate onto the back, but then again, it takes away your irons completely, so that's just something you got to think about. The capacity is limited to 6 because you are shooting 45 ACP, so it is a bigger caliber, but just gotta be mindful of the capacity that you have in this guy. If you're 45 FUD and you like the knockdown power, go with the 36. It's got a lot of power in such a small package. You can still EDC, conceal carry just fine. You have a really powerful cartridge and that's gonna get the job done. If you wanna be a little bit more modern, wanna run an optic, a light, whatever it might be, you might wanna look at the 43X. A little bit lighter recoil. Overall, the 43X is a really solid build, something that you should look into if you're looking for those components.
Hard to deny their consistent reliability. Also, you're gonna hold value very well with buying a Glock. So again, it sounds like we're preaching to you about it, but we're not. At the end of the day, 9mm, 45 ACP, which is better? You tell us in the comments down below. We got some really good content coming for you guys, so look forward to that, and we'll see y'all in the next one.